Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be kind of a fall little vlog. I'm currently getting ready because I'm going to go to Winners and HomeSense really quick, as I obviously want to look at all the fall and Halloween stuff. But also the other day I went to go get all of my Halloween and fall stuff from the garage. I brought my containers in the house and they're not see-through, so I didn't really look at them, obviously. I just like knew that my Halloween stuff was in there. And it was like, I think 9 p.m. and I was on FaceTime with my parents and I was like showing my parents that I brought all the Halloween stuff, and I like opened the container, and I have 2 containers, and I noticed in the one container it was like damp, like it was wet, and I was like, what the heck? Like, why are my decorations wet? Like, that's so weird. There's like moisture in there. And so I like start kind of taking things out. I use like old sheets and old rags to wrap up like the more delicate stuff so that I wouldn't, you know, get banged up. And I see like molds and then like just liquid. And I'm like, what the heck is that? I was so, I don't want to say dumb, but I honestly, this was a dumb moment for me. I put my snow globes, my Halloween snow globe, in the garage. And I live in Canada where it freezes in the winter time. So I clearly just was not thinking. So that's what happened. The snow globe, it didn't explode, but it just like leaked. So I think like the pressure was a lot, and then it just kind of like leaked at the bottom because the glass was still like intact. So everything kind of grew mold and chemical. The chemical from the snow globe was on everything. So essentially I had to throw away all of those decorations, which is so heartbreaking because I bought all of those decorations last year and it was like my first year fully decorating for Halloween, and I, you know, like spent not a lot of money, but you know, I spent money on those things, and it's very upsetting. I then also realized I put my Christmas snow globes in the garage as well. So I went through that because I wasn't gonna wait to do that in the winter time. And there was like mold on everything, and all 3 of the snow globes that I had in one container all exploded, and I had other cute decorations in there, and it was very upsetting. Honestly, I'm like quite upset and angry at myself for that, but lesson learned. I'm never going to do that again. So that's kind of why I want to go to Winners and HomeSense, just to buy a couple of things. I'm not going to go crazy and buy everything, but I do want to buy, like, I had to get rid of my glass pumpkin that had lights in it, so I really want to try to find another one like that because I loved that. I might also go to Michael's because Michael's is right beside HomeSense. And then I'm gonna come home and I might do a little fall decorating. I already have my bedding on, which I'll show you guys later, but I have to make my bed first. I don't have a lot for fall, but I want to decorate for that because I don't want to decorate for Halloween as well, because last year, right at the beginning of September, I decorated for fall and Halloween, and by the time Halloween came around, or October, I was just sick of all of the decorations. I was like, I want my house to be normal again. So I'm going to decorate for fall in September, and then once October comes around, I will decorate for fall and Halloween. Then I'm going to try to do a little bit of reading today. I started a book the other day that I kind of want to make progress with. And then I need to do my 10K steps today. Maybe I'll have time to journal. I'm back from my shopping. I actually have been back for 2 hours already, and I'm starting to not feel the greatest, so I don't know how much I'm going to do today. But I did buy a couple of Halloween things. I actually bought 5 things. So I first went to HomeSense. I didn't really find anything there. They did have like 3 shelves of Halloween and fall stuff, but nothing that really grabbed my attention. And then I went to Michael's really quick, and they did have their buy one get one free and 50% off and all that kind of stuff. I do want to get like the Frankenstein bust. I feel like it's not really worth it unless I get another item, you know? And I didn't know what else to get, so I kind of just left there empty-handed, and I'm gonna think about it. Then I went to Winners, and that is where I had the most luck. I bought 5 things from Winners. I didn't buy anything fall though. All of it is Halloween, so I'm not gonna share any of it in this vlog. I'm gonna wait until I decorate for Halloween, and I will show you guys all of my Halloween decor and everything that I bought that was new. It's just the beginning of September, so I'm hoping that they'll have more fall stuff later. I really wanted to try to find a glass pumpkin with lights in it, and I couldn't find any. They had the glass pumpkin, but no lights in it. And I was like, are you serious? Like, why couldn't there be lights in it? I was so wanting that glass pumpkin because the one I had was so beautiful, and I'm so sad I had to throw it away because it just had like a weird film on it that I couldn't wipe off. But the one thing I will show you guys isn't really like Halloween, but like kind of, is this mug that I bought. It's just like a moon with stars and a little black cat. This is my aesthetic and me in a cup. So yeah, I bought this. This was $5.99. Yeah, and then I bought 4 other Halloween items, which I'm very happy about. And I will share those in my Halloween decorating vlog in October. Now I'm gonna kind of rest and take it easy, and I think I will do a couple of fall bits. I have some stuff that I can put out, so I'm gonna maybe do some of that, but I'm gonna kind of rest and maybe read and just take it easy because I'm getting a headache, and I already took ibuprofen this morning, so I'm a little frustrated that I don't feel the greatest. So these are the new sheets that I bought. I barely made my bed today, but these are the sheets that I got from HomeSense. I hauled them in one of my last vlogs, I think. And yeah, it's just like these mushrooms, kind of cottagecore vibes. And I felt like they really gave off fall, probably because of the orange and yellow, but I really like them. I think they're cute. And I'm very happy to have some fall bedding. I think it's been almost 3 weeks since I uploaded my last video. I am so sorry I kind of disappeared. I had a family emergency and it was very stressful and a little scary, and I had a family member in the hospital, and then we were kind of just waiting around for the surgery. The surgery happened, I think, almost a week ago now, and so my family member is just healing and recovering from that. I don't want to share too much because I like to protect my family's privacy and stuff, but everything is okay now. Everything is kind of back to normal almost. But it was very stressful and I cried a lot, and there was a lot going on. And then on top of that, I started taking a new medication, and I don't know how vocal I've been, but I am a migraine girly. I have a lot of migraines. I finally was diagnosed earlier this year with having chronic migraines and stuff. I've had them like ever since I can remember. Like, I don't even know when they started, but I feel like I've just always had them, and I was honestly too scared to go to the doctor to deal with them. Earlier this year, I started going to the doctor and we tried a couple of things that didn't really work. My doctor then referred me to a neurologist, and I saw him, I think, in the middle of September, and I started a preventative pill, and that pill really set me back a couple of days. I was just so tired. I feel like I was tired for like 3 or 4 days, and all I wanted to do was sleep. So I was also kind of getting used to this new medication. I don't really have any updates on it yet. If you want me to talk more about it, I definitely can in another vlog, but I have a trial of 3 months on this pill, and then we'll see if anything changes. So far, nothing has really changed, but I'm still really hopeful. I've only been taking it for, I think, 3 weeks, and I have to up the dosage today or tomorrow. I've been dealing with that on top of the family stuff, so it's just been a very stressful and overwhelming September, and the last thing on my mind was, unfortunately, to pick up a camera and film stuff and edit videos. Sadly, I didn't really upload in September, which I apologize for, but hopefully October is better and not a lot is going on, hopefully. Oh, I just realized October's tomorrow, so I hope October is better for me. I do have a week off in October. I have the Thanksgiving week off. I took that week off because even though I don't work a lot, I don't take off specific weeks. So I just wanted to take off a week and have like things to do, you know, clean, kind of just have like a little bit of a break and get ready for the holiday season, because I know it's gonna be very busy. I should be back to regular uploading schedule. Well, I don't know how often I'm gonna upload, but I already have pre-filmed a recommendation video, so that will go up after this. But oddly enough, I have been reading. I read some really good books, and I'm hopefully gonna read today. That is my plan. I want to journal, read, and I want to do my 10K steps because I've been kind of slacking with that. I've just been really busy and I need to get back on track with that. And then I have a couple of home decor things to share with you guys. But first, obviously, we're gonna start with what I've been reading and what I'm gonna try to read today. I read Immortal Dark by T.J. Grima, I think. I read this book like last week or the week before, and I loved this. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This was so insanely good. It's about vampires and it follows Kidon. I mispronounce her name in my recommendation video that you're gonna see next. The author's TikTok came up on my feed and she explained how to pronounce all of the characters' names, and I hadn't watched that before I filmed my recommendation video, so I mispronounced like everything in that video, which I feel so bad about. But this follows Kidon, who is an heiress, and her family is part of this, I guess, community or like society that they have vampire companions, and so they live in the house and they operate on this university, and Kidon's sister June goes missing, and Kidon believes that her family's vampire kidnapped her sister, and so she basically goes to the university to find out what happens, and she has to live with her family's vampire and try to find answers. I definitely am not explaining it that well, but it is so good. I just kept wanting to read. Like, I could not put this down. I found the writing to be so captivating. The world and the like magic, like paranormal system, I thought was so interesting. The vampire system in here is just so unique, and like each family has a house, and the houses have secrets and magic, and there's like a house law, and that is so interesting. And it's kind of like a little bit gory, or like a little bit of horror elements, but I felt like every couple of chapters there was like some sort of new revelation, and it was just so interesting to see this whole book play out. Really loved the enemies to lovers aspect in here. It is true enemies to lovers. They hate each other, they want to kill each other. There's like small hints of romance. I feel like the romance will develop more in the series, like in the next book. It is just very slow burn, and I just loved this book, and I'm so excited for the sequel. Like, I need it now. I don't know if I mentioned, this is also young adult, and to me it did not feel like it was young adult. It felt kind of like new adult-ish, but it was still like PG and stuff. But I really enjoyed it. It was just fantastic, and I highly recommend. Then I just finished The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent last night. This is also kind of like a vampire novel. I guess it is kind of described as like The Hunger Games meets vampires. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I liked it, but I don't think I'm going to pick up the sequel, which might be shocking considering I gave the book 4 stars, but I just feel like I could easily read spoilers on the next book to see how it ends instead of wasting $30 and 4 hours of my time. You know what I mean? Like, I liked it. I liked the characters, I liked the setting and the vibe, but I wasn't super in love with the romance or the characters to care enough to read another 400-page book about them. I thought I was gonna be obsessed with this romance. Like, I genuinely thought I was gonna be obsessed, but I didn't really care. Like, they have a whole chapter that is basically just a sex scene, and I didn't care. I was like, okay. And I feel like I probably just gave this book 4 stars because the ending was definitely shocking. Did not see that at all. If you want to convince me otherwise to read the sequel, go ahead, but I don't think I will be continuing. I do want to possibly check out Carissa's other series. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the one with the red cover. I might want to check out that series, but I don't think I'm going to continue this series, even though I know the 3rd book follows like a different character. But I will say, since reading Immortal Dark and The Serpent and the Wings of Night, I have definitely been in a fantasy mood. I just want to read fantasy. For some reason, it is gripping me more than contemporary romance. I think because it's been so long since I've read fantasy, I am craving to read really good fantasy. Because back in the day when I first started reading, I pretty much just read YA fantasy. Like, I didn't really read YA contemporary. I read a lot of YA fantasy, paranormal, sci-fi stuff, and then I kind of jumped to like romance contemporary. There's also some other fantasies that I really want to read, but I think I'm going to save some of those for vlogs. So I am drawn to read other ones, but I think I might read Don't Hex and Drive by Juliet Cross. I might start this today because I'm still kind of in a vampire mood, and this is quite short, so I feel like I could breeze through this. But I believe this follows a witch and a vampire. I read the 1st book in this series and I wasn't super impressed, but I did want to give the series another try, so I thought I would try the 2nd book and we'll see how I feel about this one. If I'm not enjoying that, I might pick up Anatomy by Dana Schwartz. This I've been meaning to read for like the last 2 years. I think this is not vampires. This is a gothic tale of mystery and romance. Hazel is a lady who wants to be a surgeon more than she wants to marry. Jack is a resurrection man who's just trying to survive in a city where it's too easy to die. It's giving a little bit of Stalking Jack the Ripper vibes, so I might dive into this one. We'll see. I'm also just looking on my shelves right now to see what else I could read. I'm also kind of thinking about reading Vengeful by V.E. Schwab because I read Vicious years and years ago and I don't remember anything about it, but I really would love to finally read the sequel. I also have Belladonna I could read, or Blood and Honey actually, which is the sequel to The Serpent and Dove, I think. I feel like I definitely would need to read a review recapping Serpent and Dove because I don't remember anything about that, but I do have the sequel. Or I could read Fable. I do have that one as well by Adrienne Young, I think. The other fantasies that I have, I want to save for vlogs. So I think those are kind of my other choices. I'm either going to go read right now or I'm going to journal because I have some journaling things that I need to catch up on. I finally got a new glass pumpkin and I love it. I got it from Canadian Tire. It's actually a lot bigger and kind of fancier than my old one. Oh, blue. It's kind of hard to see, but there's this like fancy detail at the top. I think it was like $25. This is what it looks like when it's off. It kind of like looks like it's two-toned. It looks lighter at the bottom and then darker at the top. I just think it looks really pretty and I'm so happy I found another glass pumpkin. The other new house decor update is I have lights on these bookshelves in my bedroom. So these are the exact same lights that I have in my book room. I just bought a new set and I put them on these shelves to kind of give my bedroom a little bit more of a cozy feel, and it actually worked out that the one strand was enough. I didn't have to order any more. I was initially worried that the one strand was going to be way too long because it is kind of a long string of lights, but it worked out and I really love it. It just makes this room so much more cozier at night. It's currently 10 p.m. and I haven't read anything. I have tried to read like 5 different books and I don't know why, but I just don't feel like reading any of them. I started Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. This is the second book in the Serpent and Dove series. I read the first book I think shortly after it had come out, which I want to say it was like 2-3 years ago. It's been a long time already. I didn't remember anything, so I looked up a review on YouTube and somebody like did a recap of the first and this book for, I guess, the third book that was out at the time, and I accidentally scrolled into the comments of that video and I saw a spoiler for this book. I don't think it's like a huge spoiler, but it's still a spoiler and it's about a character, so I was kind of defeated, but I read like 30 pages of this, so I was like, I don't know if I should continue or if I should just put this down until I forget about that spoiler. But honestly, that recap was like very helpful, so I'm glad I watched that because I feel like I could go into this now knowing and remembering everything, because I honestly did not remember anything about the first book. But yeah, I don't know if I want to continue this at the moment. I got through like 1 page of this and I was like, yeah, not vibing with this, not in the mood for this. I got to 23 pages of anatomy. Honestly intrigued by this. It is giving kind of like gothic vibes. It's also giving Frankenstein, which was supposed to be my TBR drawer pick for September. Did I read it? No. I feel like honestly I'm just gonna continue reading Frankenstein for October, and I'm not gonna read Dracula. But anyways, I was intrigued by this, but I don't know if I'm necessarily in the mood. I feel like I would really end up liking this, but I don't know. I just feel like my mind's not really there. And then these two, I was intrigued by the first like couple of sentences, but I realized I'm not in the mood for anything, so I didn't bother with these. I'm looking at my shelves right now and I'm just trying to think of like something I could be in the mood for, and I don't know. I thought I was still in like a fantasy mood, but the fantasies I have, I guess I'm just not into. I kind of want to read some hyped fantasies or like ones that are really popular right now. I'm actually gonna look on my Goodreads. I kind of might want to read Phantasma, which is blowing up everywhere. Initially, I was not really into the idea of it because I don't know if I'd necessarily like trials or like games, but I just read Serpent and the Wings of Night, which is basically like trials, and I actually didn't mind it, so I'm like, maybe I'll like Phantasma. So I might go to the bookstore in a couple of days and go buy that. I do actually want to read Quicksilver, but I don't think I can get a copy of that until December, I think, because that's when the new like traditionally published version is out. And then I kind of do want to check out When the Moon Hatched by Sarah Parker. This I think is coming out tomorrow, I think. I might buy that as well. I don't know. I'm just like in the mood to read newer fantasies, I guess. I think I'm also still kind of in a vampire mood. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I don't want like this type of vampire because this is like, it's giving contemporary setting, which I'm just not vibing with, you know? Like I need it to be in a fantasy world and a fantasy element. So I'm thinking I might go buy King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. It has like pretty bad reviews because a lot of people say it's very like smutty. It doesn't have much of a plot, but I really just want to read like a good vampire book right now. I think that's truly what I'm in the mood for, and I don't have any vampire stuff on my physical TBR right now. Maybe I'll check to read something on my Kindle, but it's already kind of late. Like it's 10 o'clock. I don't even know if I want to bother starting a book. I know this is really like not my genre at all, but I kind of want to read Jade City by Fonda Lee. I've heard amazing things about this. I feel like I have been recommended this before, like a really long time ago. But I think right now I'm not necessarily in the mood for romance, which I know is kind of crazy, and I think that's why I'm like gravitating towards fantasy. But also leave like your favorite fantasy novels down below, because I kind of want to, I'm open to like fantasy books that don't have any romance in them. Like I'm open to that at the moment. I think that's kind of what I need, because Immortal Dark barely had a romance plot and I was living for that book. Like I loved that book so much. I think that's kind of why I want to read Jade City, because it's supposed to be like a very interesting political type of story. I don't know, I just need something that like immediately grips me, and at the moment I'm not really vibing with any of the books that I have, so I don't know what to do about that. But I might just try to read a couple more pages or chapters of this, and then maybe I'll kind of be more into it. But I think on Wednesday after work, I think I am going to go to the bookstore and see if I can maybe get Phantasma and some other books. We'll see. I think that's going to be the end of this vlog. I feel like this vlog is kind of all over the place, but I just wanted to post a video of me being back and stuff, and I didn't want it to be like a sit down video and me like take time out of the sit down video to explain things. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give it a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.